Hey YouTube, it's your girl Rochelle and I am back with another video. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Now just know, this is my favorite type of video. I know everybody loves the cash stuffings. I know you love the budgeting and all that sinking fun jazz. But y'all, when it comes to helping others in the budgeting community, it's where my heart is. It's where my heart is. It's why I'm working so hard to get RochelleAdamson.com up and running for you guys by April 1st. But first of all, shout out to my budget submission for Battle of the Budgets for the month of April 2021, y'all. Our girl Kelly, kmjsfinancials, here on YouTube. She just started out on her YouTube journey a few months ago. Shout out to her for turning in her budget and submitting it to Tanisha Davis and I. That's right, Tanisha. Or Tanisha, wherever she at. So that we can have some fun with a different budget, because you know it gets real old looking at your same numbers all the time. And maybe you're someone who has a budget and maybe you are looking for a different viewpoint. Maybe you would like to try something new with your budget. I encourage you, turn it in, submit it. We are easily accessible on Instagram, email, all that good stuff. Turn it in to us and we will pick our budget of the month from our pile of budget submissions that we get, and maybe you can get in on the fun too and win with your money even quicker. I like to bring a perspective for those who use cash. Tanisha tends to budget with a cashless system, versus me, I tend to include cash options with your budget. So let's dive right into her budget and see what I would do. I've created a mock budget inside of every dollar. You know, the app is free, y'all. Use it. And let's see what we would do. Now, it's the perfect month for Kelly to submit her budget to us because it's a magic month. She gets an extra paycheck this month. So not one, not two, but 3 paychecks will be happening for the month of April. And so she is expecting a total income of $3,450. So that's what I'm going to work with. Now, before I look at the numbers, I always look at the person. I always ask everyone to please turn in your goals. What are your dreams? What are your aspirations? What do you want to accomplish in life with your money? And what do you want to accomplish without money? So let's talk about it. First off, she would love to pay off all of her student loans in the next 3 years. So that means by 2024, she would like to be student loan free. I'm here for it. Next, she would love to save $6,000 in an emergency fund to cover, I believe it's 3 months worth of expenses. And that's crucial right there. So I'm definitely on board. Next up, she would like to include a self-care in her budget. She does not really do anything for herself. That's fun. And guys, I really mean this with all my energy. Self-care all 2021. A lot of times, all of us are focused on helping others and making sure everyone else is okay, making sure bills are paid. But if you keep pouring from an empty cup, you are going to break, literally. I don't make the rules. It's just how the human body works. We give of ourselves day in, day out to these jobs, to our family members, to our friends, and we are living in a pandemic. We have got to stop and smell the roses, so to speak, and we have to take that me time. So that's going to be what I hope to accomplish with her budget. Now, first off, let's talk about savings. Because she does have this goal of saving $6,000. If it were me, I would put at least $500 towards her emergency fund. Now, the reason I would do that is because first of all, I'm not really sure how much money she has in her emergency fund, but the fact that she says she wants to save $6,000 in this calendar year means that we need to really add to it as quickly as possible, since we're already going to be the 4 months in. So yeah. I would definitely add $500 to that fund. Next is house maintenance. This is a category I would add $100 to, and that's because I looked at her Instagram and I saw that she got hit with Murphy's Law, and she had some car trouble and an issue with her house at the same time. And I can't tell you how much that resonated with me. $100 toward house maintenance. Next is car maintenance. Since she has something wrong, but you see where I'm going with this. $150 towards car maintenance. Hopefully that will cover an oil change, a flat tire, something minor that has to be done that's around about $100. Anything more than that, we'll just hope for the best. Last savings account or savings bucket that I would add to is travel. I watched her latest video, budget burnout video, and it really resonated with me because we have all been there, whether we talk about it or like to admit it or not. We have felt burnt out, where we get to the point where we've paid all this money towards debt, but we have very little to show for it in terms of experiences, in terms of how we've lived our life, because we literally been hitting it so hard, working every day in, day out, cutting corners, eating rice and beans, foregoing travel. And she said in her video that she feels like she has not had any real travel experiences, and I can't let that slide. As a travel agent that has been affected by this pandemic and is not booking travel at this time, it resonates with me. Budgeting and travel it does this for me. So I would add $300 to her travel fund. That is just enough money to find a good round trip ticket. That's right, I'm good like that, honey. Hit me up, I will help you. You would have enough to fly somewhere. I'm not going to promise international, but it is on the table where you could feel like you are getting away, you are traveling, you are creating a new experience for yourself. You are getting into somewhere where you don't have to think about work for a couple of days. So $300. Next bucket, gifts. Gifts is another bucket that she had listed on her budget. And for this, at this time, I would not be so worried about it, because it's hard to, like I said, it's hard to pour from an empty cup. And it sounds like it's more important at this point in your life for you to focus on spending some money on yourself. And everybody else, they're just gonna have to understand. If they're really your friend and really your family, they're gonna be like, you know what, Kelly, you deserve, girl. It's okay. So we're only gonna put $10 in the gift category for the month of April. May, it could be more. June, it could be more. But for this month, it's Kelly's month. Next, moving on, housing and utilities. This is the category where I would love for you to make some progress. Let me explain what I mean. First up, her mortgage. Kelly's mortgage is $1,019 per month. Huge chunk of her income. And right off top, ideas that are flowing through my mind. Is it possible to refinance? Does it make sense to refinance? Is it possible for you to refinance and get a lower payment? If so, I would at least run the numbers. I would at least sit down with someone at your bank / credit union and find out if it's a good move for you. I'm not a financial advisor. I literally only have what I've lived through to pull from, but it just feels high. And I don't know what state you live in, so let me also mind my business. Tell me to mind my business, Rochelle. But I think that you could definitely be doing getting it at least under 1,000, especially since we're in a pandemic. Next up would be home warranty. Home warranty comes to $42.99. I'm not going to speak much on that because I'm not really familiar with that. I would just at the very least take a look at what that home warranty covers so that you know when to activate it. And hopefully Tanisha will talk more about this in her video, but she actually doesn't really subscribe to the whole warranty thing, but the warranties that she does have, she uses. I remember she talked about having a leaky roof, and she did what she had to do to activate whatever coverage she did have, and she was able to get her money back. So she may have had to pay for it, but she got her money back. So I'm always letting people know, reminding people to call these companies out. These companies who are just taking our money, $20 a month, $40 a month, make sure that we're actually calling them out and saying, hey, listen, I got this problem and you said you would fix it. So let's do this. Just me. Next up is your cell phone bill, which is $92. Now, I watched a few of your videos because I always have to like binge watch the channel just to make sure that I'm getting the whole story, because Y'all, I'm subscribed to so many people. I try to watch at least one video from every channel monthly. That's like the best I can do right now. I apologize, but your cell phone bill feels high. I don't know if you are also paying off your phone with that phone bill, but definitely look into options with your cell phone carrier, such as auto pay, where you could possibly save $5 or $10 off your bill each month. Look at the insurance on your phone, see if it makes sense to keep, all those type things. You know what to do, girl. Just a matter of doing it. And most of these companies have chat features now inside of these apps where you don't even have to pick up the phone, which is nice. Next is internet/home security, which comes to $142.14. Like I said, this is the category that I would definitely look a little more closely at. Internet for sure. Though the cable/Wi-Fi companies, they have these deals where they're good for like 12 months and then you got to start paying regular price. Call them up. Let them know, you know what? I don't like what I'm paying. I'm looking at other people. Do you have something better you can offer me that's at the same speed, or maybe even a little faster or a little bit slower, that I could try out? I'm not happy with what I'm paying. I see that also your home security is through that internet company, so that's probably a combo rate, but just see if it makes sense to you. Home security, Micah hated the fact that y'all, I used to have home security. I needed the home security. He was working at night. I was gone. I was home alone. I'm like, oh, I'm going to have home security. Our house is not in the best neighborhood. And so anyway, I paid $40 something a month for years. And when it was time for my contract to end, like, I never thankfully had to use their services, but it was just time. Like, I had paid in full and they were like trying to roll me over into a new contract. And I was like, no, I don't need it. Like, I literally didn't need it anymore. And they were so mean to me. And I always remember that about these companies. These companies do not care about us. And I said, you know what? For someone who has been such a dedicated person for all these years, I literally was on a 3 or 4 year plan with y'all. For you to be treating me like this right now speaks volumes. I blame me for staying so long. Good riddance. And when I tell you it took like 3 months for me to break out of that contract, like, well, not break out, but to finalize our relationship, our financial relationship, and make sure they were no longer taking money out of my account, it taught me huge lessons. Home security and cable/Wi-Fi companies are the hardest to work with. No lie. If you are trying to get out of a plan, I just noticed from the clients that I've helped over the years, problematic. So just have your affairs in order. Your paperwork in order, and make sure that you keep track of all of it and know when your time is up, because they will try to auto enroll you into a new contract. Next up is gas and electric, which is estimated to be about $150. Again, I'm not sure about the size of your home, but I encourage you to go on the website of the electric company that you use and look at, they usually will have a section where they show averages for your neighborhood or your zip code or your state, and just make sure that you're falling in line with the average, that you're not spending way more than your average neighbor, because what I found is I was paying way too much. Our electric bill was like $200-300 a month, and I just thought that was normal, and I would pay it because you got to have gas and electric, right? So when I looked on the website, it said I was supposed to be paying like a third of what I had been paying for all these years. And I started talking to my neighbors like, hey, how do you keep your bill so low? This is when it's good to like talk to your neighbors and be that nosy neighbor. And I found out so many little hacks that people were doing. Highly recommend. Next, okay, so that's the housing/utilities category, y'all. Feel like I spent a lot of time in that. We're good now. Next up, car insurance. She pays her car insurance semi-annually. You go, girl, you go. And so she puts $100 to the side every month to be able to afford to pay it in full when it comes around. So we're going to do that. Next up is life insurance. Life insurance comes to $30.02. Gonna do that. Next category is subscriptions. Subscriptions are very, very low. You go, girl. Google storage $2.99, iCloud storage $1.99, Netflix $8.99, Hulu $11.99. Next is let's see which one I'll do next. We'll do the variables. Variables are everything else that you end up spending money on. So groceries, I kept very low at $100 just to challenge you to really dive into your pantry and your freezer and see if there's any way you could squeeze some extra meals out of things that you already have at home. And that's kind of, I know that feels cheap and that feels like, ugh, but she averages between $100 and $150 a month. So it's not which is for one person to eat off of, which is amazing, girl. I could be taking some notes from you. And maybe you should do a grocery haul for us on your channel. But, the reason why I always tell people to look at their groceries and their spending habits is because most people who travel, they don't spend a lot of money in other areas of their life because they sacrifice something so that they can travel. So most people who travel don't go to the movies, or there's something that they're cutting out so that they can justify the spending that they are doing for travel. So I know me personally and the people that I travel with, they usually cut something else out. Like, oh girl, for travel to happen, I don't have cable. Or for travel to happen, we share a car in our family. So find where you can, achieve some wiggle room in your budget so you can live your best life and be ready to travel when the opportunity presents itself. Next up is eating out. I trimmed that down to $40. Like I said, we're just trying new things. These are all numbers that you can adjust. And maybe you don't choose my budget just because of how low I kept your food budget. But next up is gas. Gas is getting $50. Household, $20. Spending / miscellaneous money is getting $20. And the new bucket category that we are going to include is called, self-care. Self-care. It's getting $100 because we don't know when we're going to have extra money again in the future to put in this bucket, in this category. And so it's better to, when you have it, use it. And by doing that, we are checking the second box of your goals checklist, which is to create a self-care bucket. So I encourage you to Google all different types of ways that you can achieve some self-care on a budget. We have found ways to get massages done twice a month by working with them with the pricing. We don't pay full price for massages. We just tell them, hey, we're going to be one of your regular customers. What can you offer us? And they actually lowered the price by quite a bit. So also, life is a journey. I will tell you guys, yes, we live in Hawaii now. Yes, we travel to Mexico now, but that was not always our story. Travel for us used to be going to Ocean City, Maryland, and my people from B-More, DMV area, you guys know what I'm talking about. And guess what? We would have the best time. Travel for us used to be Massanutten, and anybody who lives in the DMV area will also know where that is. And so what I'm saying is, Megan says this a lot in her video, her Courage to Plan. Start where you are. And I really subscribe to that because you don't want to compare your journey to someone else's. And a lot of times the trips that I've went on over the years, I've ended up having more fun on those budget-friendly trips than those ones that broke the bank. So always look for opportunities to win and travel and self-care on a budget. You might have to buy a foot spa because we don't have whole money to be going to get a pedicure. I just bought me a gel kit. It was cool and all going to get my nails done, but it was very time consuming, and it started to really irk me sitting in a nail shop for hours on end. And I'm like, I will do one nail a day in my own house and figure it out. So you got to just see what works for you. I'm just throwing ideas. I'm just spitballing here, like Micah says. I'm just throwing stuff and ideas out here. This is the purpose of the budget battles, the budgets that we do. Whew. Okay, so last category is the debt. That's what we're here for, okay? So she has student loans that she normally pays $226 a month for, but forbearance. So she's currently not paying the minimum amounts. She's in her videos doing Fed Loans Friday, hashtag Fed Loans Friday, which is something that Asia Sierra Budgets created, where there's a large movement of people who are paying off debt and making payments every week, every Friday. And I love that she is taking part in that journey and reminding herself that she is in a community of people who have like-minded goals. So because I subscribe to Fed Loans Friday, I don't have any Fed loans, but I love watching y'all pay it off with the quickness. I would suggest that you put $457.89 toward Fed Loan Friday. Hey. Oh, I gotta do this song. Fed Loans Friday, Fed Loans Friday, Fed Loans Friday. My phone wouldn't let me be great. Asia, how I do. Anyway, that's an every dollar budget. That's what I would do with your money, Kelly. I can't wait to see which budget you choose. And let's just look over. Let me just spit real quick on as a part of my outro, things that I would try. I would look at side hustles. I would consider a second job. I would consider moving into a different home or getting a roommate. These are all just ideas because you have to have them in front of you so you know that they're not for you and you have something to compare your current lifestyle to. But you do have a significant other, so I don't know if a roommate would work for you guys. But anyway, definitely look into refinancing just to make sure that you are paying what the average person pays for a home of your size. Look at options to lower your utilities and always be on the lookout for job opportunities to replace your primary job where you are now, whether that means applying for a new job elsewhere at a new company or looking for new opportunities at your current company and having that conversation. Now, don't go get fired, okay? Don't go to your boss and be like, you're not paying me enough. I need a better job, because I don't want you to get fired and be looking at me. But I'm just saying, always be on the lookout. I actually have a friend who applied for a job inside of her current company that all of a sudden was a new position that was created that was not there all the years that she's been working there, and she got the job, and it's better paying, and it actually is something that she went to school for. So it's the perfect new opportunity for her. Congrats, girl. And so I'm always telling people to check the ads. Check the ads at your job. You never, ever know. You just never know. Anyway, that's all for me. I've talked your ears off for 23 minutes and 34 seconds, 35 seconds, 36 seconds. I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to head over to Kelly's channel to see which budget she chose. But I'm done. Take that, Tanisha. Take that. Until the next one, I'll see you guys. Peace, love, and budget.
This will be the last call.